Alright guys, good day. So this is one of the rare occasions where I actually do stream in the middle of the day using my lunch break. Yeah, kind of an extended lunch break. So welcome guys to this stream. Alright guys, good day. So this is one of the rare occasions where I actually do stream in the middle of the day using my lunch break. Yeah, kind of an extended lunch break. So this might come a little bit unexpected for anybody of you who is following me already for a while, because my main game that I do stream is U-Boat. And yeah, now and then a bit of DayZ, so might come as a bit of a surprise. But yeah, I have mentioned probably a lot of times that this game here, Mountain Blade Bannerlord, that this is my all-time favorite actually. It's just a game where I was a little bit unsure whether it would make sense to stream it. But yeah, right now I decided spontaneously to do that and start a new game, and yeah, just share my experience with you guys and see how it works. If you like it, so comments are always welcome in the chat, but yeah, don't feel pushed, just watch if you like to just lurk. So I hope the sound loadout versus the game audio is pretty balanced at the moment. That's always a little bit hard to judge, as long as you do not look at your own stream afterwards. And I have been streaming this game, but it's something like 2 years ago. So yeah, welcome guys in the stream. And what I'm gonna do is, I'm not gonna play the campaign, but I'm gonna do the complete Sandbox. The game has so much to give that the complete open Sandbox is a perfect mode for it. But you have to bring a bit of time. This game is really epic, and you have to dump a lot of time into it, but it has endless opportunities. I love it. I played since, well, Mountain Blade 1 came out, and so I think this game is something like 15 years old, is it? Or even more. And let's see. Let's dive into the Sandbox mode. So everything is a bit epic, but you are rewarded with also kind of epic battles.
For 500 years, the Calradian Empire dominated the continent.
Yeah, that's the history.
Its armies scattered foes before them.
The empire, that's, the parallel is the Roman Empire.
The strongholds of proud tribes crumbled beneath its engines of war. From the forests of the north,
this game takes place in a complete fantasy world. Well, I mean, but fantasy without magic and without monsters. Yeah, but it's a made-up map.
Of their legions.
But all the tribes,
as the conquest was,
all the kingdoms are kind of related to kind of kingdoms that really were in the early medieval phase of European history.
Rich, but empires, like men, grow old.
Yeah, like the Roman Empire.
Leaders lose a common cause.
This empire crumbled and got separated into different kingdoms.
Old enemies learn the Empire's tricks and devise new ones of their own.
Yeah, like the Romans, they finally were beaten on the battlefield by the riders from the east. And
then
also these details you have in the game. Kingdoms in the east, they are very close to their horses.
A time of suffering. but also, even in the worst hours, a time of courage and defiance.
Yeah, okay, alright. Thank you very much for that enthusiastic intro. And yeah, now we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different cultures. And what you can say is the Empire culture actually has 3 kingdoms, which is also nice. So in total you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus 3, 9 different kingdoms on the map. And I like to do the Vlandians, which are, well, I would say close to the Anglo-Saxon culture or something like that. So if you compare this to European history, the game would be set into, say, maybe the 9th century or something, when the Roman Empire long has fallen for 100 or 200 years and new kingdoms had formed. So let's not too much into the details. You have different advantages and disadvantages depending on which culture you actually choose. Okay, so this one is always a bit awkward. Well, not awkward. It's, if you like it, it's nice, but well, I could do without this character forming. I just want to have a cool looking guy. So let's see if we can what. I usually do it random wise, as you see, then move away the markings. Let's see what kind of hair I want to give the guy. I think like this one. Do I want to have a bearded character? Yep, okay, that guy looks good. And maybe I would like to have his color of hair resemble more mine. Oh well, what I always, yeah, come on. Not quite, but let's take that one. So, believe me, this is not my color of hair, but I think the guy looks cool with that. Now you can do all these details here, but I think I'm just gonna keep it. Let's keep the face symmetric. Yeah, alright, so more or less randomly generated with a little bit of tweaking by us. And there we go, let's go with that character. You could also change the...
No quarter for the raven!
Let's take that voice and let's make him just average in build, weight and height. Hey Raven, sorry, I just saw your comment right now. It's no, it's actually 3 Empire factions. You have the North Empire, the South Empire, and the, what is it, West, right? I think. Yep. There is also, after the update with the sales stuff, you still have 3 Empire factions. Yep. That's completely right. Yeah, by the way, always glad if I get some questions or feedback in the chat. So I am trying to do the multi-chat right now. I'm streaming at the same time on Twitch and on YouTube. And usually, well, my long-time favorite community is the Twitch community, but just something like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I started to get the knack of doing the parallel stream on YouTube, and I only still have problems to get the chat of both merged. So Raven, could you tell me if you are watching this from, you're watching on YouTube, aren't you? Or are you watching it from, no, you're from Twitch, right? Yep. I'm just trying out this kind of multi chat function here in my Streamlabs desktop, but my feeling is that it does not 100% work. Well, anyway, that's technical stuff about streaming. It would be very helpful, Raven, if you could drop me a short comment into the chat whether your comment came from YouTube or from Twitch, to kind of check the functionality of this multi-stream window here. In the past it was, say, unreliable. So now I can choose the background of my character here. And of course this depends, the background actually controls my skills. So we have vigor, control, endurance. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 overall skills. How would it be called? And yeah, since the sales update, the war sales update, we have this one here as well, which is a little bit less complex. Hey, Volvolu, nice to have you in. Okay, so now I see how it is written. Yeah, I just said that I'm trying to do this multi-chat thingy. So Raven, you're also from Twitch, right? Yep. So I just hope that it works and that I would also get messages from YouTube guys. Let's see. So, and each of these overall skills is divided into 3 sub-skills. So you get different upgrade opportunities during the game for the overall skills and for the sub-skills as well. And yeah, it is implemented like by long. I think the first game which implemented this philosophy of leveling was Skyrim, right? Where you level up not by accumulating experience points, but by doing things. And by doing things successful, you get better in it. And this is how it is done in this game also beautifully. A very complex and very beautiful leveling system. But yeah, back to what's our family? You were born into a family of, if we were a Baron's retainer, we would get 1+ in social, and in these particular special skills here, 1 in polearm and 1 in riding, which is usually not bad. And social skills is about charm, leadership and trade. So let's take that right away. As a child, you were noted for your leadership skills. Tactics and social, well, my brawn, it would gain me a vigor, the overall skill of vigor, and two-handed, mastery of two-handed weapons, and throwing. Throwing spears is pretty powerful. Yeah, actually, Volvolu, I did choose to play the Vlandians, yeah. They're my kind of favorite. Sometimes I also play Empires, sometimes I play the, hey, how are they called? The green guys, the Celtic tribe. Ah, yeah. Okay, that would have been worthwhile to do, because the Nords are the new faction. Yep. Yeah, good point. Maybe. I hadn't thought about that. Just by habit, I chose the Vlandians. The Battanians, yeah. But also might have been a good idea to play the Nords to see how they feel. Well, but I won't go back now. Let's carry on. The two-handed. I rarely use two-handed swords in the game because you cannot wield a shield with a two-handed sword, which makes you pretty vulnerable against arrows and spears. Attention to detail. Yeah, okay, a plus in control, a plus in arrows, and a plus in running. Yeah, shooting the bow is pretty useful in the game. Like all village children, you helped out in the fields and you also herded the sheep. So I try to get some kind of even distribution of the up leveling. So I wouldn't do this one here now. I would rather, let's see, yeah, the anvil here, smithing is pretty important. Engineering, You can level that up later, but in the beginning of the game you don't much need it. Gathering herbs in the wild gives you a good scouting skill and a good medicine. Well, in the way I'm gonna plan to play this game, I will have companions, and I would probably try to early in the game hire an expert for scouting and hire an expert for medicine. So that would not be my priority. Oh well, getting 2 with the arrow might help in the beginning of the game. Okay, so you see, if I have, let's see if we actually would. Yeah, let's try it like that. Let's try it like that. So in cunning, tactics, now we already have that. But having a 4 in social wouldn't be too bad. But I also want to be intelligent. Let's see. To level up intelligence. Let's try it like that. It's not bad to have a high social skill. Then you can convince other guys in critical situations and get a nice wife and things like that. Before you set out for a life of adventure, your biggest achievement was you defeated an enemy in battle. Well, what I would like is to get some upgrade in intelligence. Or maybe vigor is alright. In the beginning you really need to gather experience in fighting. So let's do that. I want to start very young, like that. And yeah, let's see. This is my favorite banner, like that. Making the symbol a little bit larger. Here we are. And the Slocums is my family clan, let's call it like that. And my name, well, you know what it is. That. So now we have a character, and finally we have to tweak the difficulty level. And yeah, I do the freebooter warrior Bannerlord, the overall most difficult one. Friendly troops receive damage. I do that on realistic. Recruitment difficulty shall be realistic. Map movement speed, make it realistic. Persuasion difficulty, realistic. Combat AI difficulty. I want to have a challenging clan member. Battle death chance. Realistic. Yeah, I'm not gonna play Iron Man mode, so if some of my heroes dies in battle, I still have the option to reload. But nevertheless, I like to do it like that. Stealth and disguise, the default. Even if I go to the highest overall default difficulty level, the developers seem to recommend to go onto veteran. So I don't know if any one of you has any idea what this is about. So I actually choose veteran. This is the only difficulty setting where I don't choose the maxed out value, because I'm a bit afraid that, yeah, it might be too difficult. Now, auto allocate clan members perks. No, I want to do that by myself. And I also don't do the Iron Man mode, at least not this time. So let's start the game. Yeah, let's give it a save as in the very beginning. It's a new campaign. Let's call it like that. So you see, I call it 001. That might indicate that these kind of games might take a long time and many different in-between saves. Yeah, okay, I never tried that one. That's new with the new update, with the DLC, and up to now I didn't. I did play a little bit into another campaign, but for this streaming here, I wanted to start something new. Yep, I would be curious on that one. I gained a level. Alright, so what do we see here? This is the map with the different tribes. And Raven, your question about the empires, so it's actually these violet ones. So this one here is empire. That's the Southern Empire, and you see it's the faction is Southern Empire, the culture is Empire. Then this color here actually is the Western Empire, also culture being Empire, and then here the third one being the Northern Empire. So that's actually this, yeah, this empire that you could compare it to the Roman Empire, which was falling apart at the end into the West Roman and the East Roman Empire, and here they do it like they fell apart into three different empires. Look at that. That looks funny. I was just thinking about what new kind of graphics that is. So, and that's the whole map. And yeah, you see here, this is like the Mediterranean Sea. This you could kind of compare to Gibraltar. So they try to simulate certain features which you have. The Nords, yeah, they shall prevail. They are up here. So this part of the map is new. So they did enlarge the map and added this Nord faction. And they also changed a bit of the map. So some cities are shifted, towns and castles are shifted. And yeah, so slight change of the map, but in total it's the same. So here you have some kind of, yeah, I would call African culture. These guys here, on the western map, they are these rider tribes, and the Vlandians here, they are, I would say, they are to be compared to the Anglo-Saxon culture. Then here, the Battanians, they are comparable to the Celtic, I would say. Yeah, then all the empire, the three empire factions, like yeah, like the remainings of the Roman Empire. Then here we have these the Sturgians. They are, yeah, I would have said they are a bit like Vikings, but now I get into trouble when I would like to characterize the new Nords. Southwest, yeah, that would be interesting, yeah. That would be nice if it were something like that. So, Vulvulu, how would you characterize the new Nord faction to kind of differ it from the Sturgians? Ah, the Danes, yeah, okay, yeah, alright. And then you could say that the Nords probably are something like the Vikings, I guess, right? And then here, these tribes you could compare to the, well, I don't have the name in real life, well, these riders who actually invaded Europe in the 8th or 9th century. And here's some African culture in the south. This is how it is. Actually, yeah, pretty close to to reality, to real European history, I would say. Alright, so here we start on the map. We are just one single guy, and we can do a bit of up-leveling already in the beginning. So you have these kind of attribute points and focus points. And the attribute points you can spend to level up these overall skills, and the focus points to level up the particular special skills. And down here, this is new, these 3 special skills, and they have no overall skill for, no non-apparent reason. I don't know, maybe they had problems to implement it program-wise. Okay, yeah, Volvolo, that's interesting. But kind of realistic. I mean, this sounds pretty much like the game actually works. The game is very well balanced, and if you say that, I would say that they did it on purpose. They balanced it like having them very powerful at sea and not so powerful at land. I guess that this was on purpose by the developers. So now, what would I like to level up? I have 1 attribute point for free. So come on, for the beginning, let's level up the riding. And then I have 3. Yeah, what does it actually mean when I level up? When I level up, it means that I get some kind of a factor in the learning rate. For example, one-handed, or say bow. No, I don't have a bow, bad example. One-handed, riding. The learning rate has a factor of 4.00, which means that if I actually ride, I accumulate experience, particularly in riding, and when I have a high learning rate, then this learning goes faster, and you get a high learning rate by having a high overall level here and by having a high level in the particular skill. And that's what it is about. Well, let's see. What would I like to level up for now? Stewardship. Of course, stewardship actually, finally influences how many troops you can command. At the moment, I can just command a few guys, maybe 15 or something. Let's check it later. Then I would like to have some experience in leadership. And now it's tricky. Do I want to do trade in the beginning? You can earn quite a bit of money in the beginning of the game with trade. I don't have a bow with me, obviously, so let's first check our inventory. We just have a spare, which we can't throw. This is not made for throwing. And arming sword and shield. And this is new here, the stealth outfit. In the past we had the battle outfit, the civilian outfit, and now we have a stealth outfit. Now the first hard question is, what would I like to do in the beginning? Trade. Yeah, the good thing about throwing is having a few spares quite helps you in the beginning of the game to, even at the moment I don't have a bow. Might be hard to acquire a bow. Hey, come on, let's do trade. For the beginning. So now in the beginning, this is a band of 14 looters. They are bandits. If they would go for me, I would stand no chance. But the good thing is I am alone on my own and I'm riding. So I have a relatively high party speed, just being me on a horse. And if you later have more troops, this party speed slows down, particularly if it is foot soldiers. But you could also buy one by one additional horses, and this is also heated. So for each horse that you have, you can put, when you're on the march, you can put one foot soldier on one horse, and this would also increase your speed. So much detail in the game, much more than I could. Yeah, I would not end talking if I would go into all of that. So what you see here is this guy is engaging the looters. This guy is just patrolling, and yeah, this is the realm where we are a citizen of, but in the beginning we are just a completely meaningless guy. And so let's get to the town. Well, there is one funny thing that we could try out. Let's start a new game so that we have this first one as a spare, just if we want to start the whole game anew. And now I could show you something. If we go there and attack this guy, we will get the support of this nearby Mr. Ilmi of the Forest people. So you see he has 1 infantry and 78 ranged, and there is just me and 14 looters. So now we can take part in the battle without much risk. On our own we wouldn't have had any chance, but now let's go in. I do this just to show you how the battle actually looks like, how beautiful it is. So we have no control about these guys. Oh no! The key setting is reset, so there must have been an update. Ah, come on. Yeah, sorry guys. So I have to adjust the key bindings. Strafe left, strafe right. Yeah, for a traditional reason, because I'm playing the game since such a long time. This is the only game where I do not use the WASD keys, just out of old habit. Interact, I used to have there. Jump, I used to have there. Crouch, I used to have there. Kick, bash, let's have it on that mouse button. Switch weapon usage. Well, let's see, you can do it with the mouse wheel, right? Then drop weapon, sheath weapon, zoom. Traditionally I use space. View character, lock target, camera toggle, character zoom, taunt, okay. Let's put it there. Show cursor, middle mouse button. I don't know. Okay, next weapon, mouse scroll. We have that. Okay, that looks good. And now I have a slightly different order of the guys. Select group 1. So this, no, okay, I have to do it the other way around. Right, that's how I do it. Anything else? Map, movement. Let's have the map movement just in the same way. Ah, shit. Ah, come on then. Let's stick to that for the map movement. Yeah, okay, done. So sorry, guys. There is one more thing. This is a bit buggy, so each time when I restart the game, I have to choose this, because this is the one thing that I want to make my life easy with, that I didn't see the marks above my friendly troops. Otherwise, it turns out to be very difficult to distinguish between enemies and friendlies.
Yeah!
So this is the enemies. Okay, so I was too slow. The guys already killed them. So if I didn't kill a single guy in the battle, that doesn't help me anything. Let's see, I guess I wouldn't even get experience or any share in booty. I get a bit of moral plus. So these foresters, yeah, the looters didn't stand any chance against them. Yeah, nice to see that. Let's get to the town of Sargord. And now in each town you have some kind of important guys, like here the ironmonger, the clothier, the smith, and these guys are bandits. I never much interact with these in the past, so I don't quite know about the missions with the bandits, but these guys, you can get missions from them, and then you will have increased relation, which on the bottom line allows you to recruit more and better troops in the town. No, okay, so several options. The keep, we would have to pay a lot of money to bribe the guards to get entry to the keep, because we are just a peasant, and you see 800, that would be almost everything of the 1000 gold pieces that we have. We can go to the arena, so there is no tournament going on at the moment. I don't know why we... okay, yeah, we could do some practice fight there, but I wouldn't do it right now. Get to the tavern. In the tavern you sometimes find guys that you could hire. Each guy has some kind of, like he's close-fisted and impulsive, and you always get it marked how this is relative to your own attitude, and it's red if you have a different attitude. If you are generous and not impulsive but calculating, then you get it marked red. But I actually never quite found out what the meaning of that is. So if any guy in the chat could explain what the meaning of these kind of traits actually is in the game, they kind of got more emphasis in the game, because now, since the update, you get some kind of little decision makings which would influence your traits. But yeah, I'm not yet sure what effect that actually has on gameplay. Yeah, at the moment we cannot quite, where we could hire a guy, but usually I try to not, although I don't know what the effect actually is, but I usually don't hire guys when they are red in these symbols and completely different to my own character's attitude. We can recruit troops, and at the moment there is just one guy that would hire with us, so there are these slots. There could potentially be guys for us to hire, but obviously some other lord must have been around just recently and taken away all the willing young guys who would hire. Now we can do some trade. And yeah, here we have a large variety. We have like wares, food, yeah, mescal. This is different foods. If we supply all 9 different types of food, we get a large bonus in moral. Then we know wood we need for smithing, and this is, yeah, stuff to trade with. And the color of the price indicates to you whether it's a good price or a bad price. So we could buy some silver ore and hope that we can sell it for a good price somewhere else, but it would be a gamble. It would be a bit of a gamble. The other thing that we could do is we could check if we could get better weapons. So we only can buy a recurve bow here, and we are not yet experienced enough to handle it. Let's see, what about javelins? So I think I would buy a javelin, or a set of javelins. So it's 4. The stack amount is 4. It's relatively cheap, 150 roughly. So what I'm gonna do is put away the sword and as a default weapon start with the javelin. 4 of them. Now the question really is, do I dare to buy a bit of silver and go to Jacqueline and hope that I can sell it there for a good price? Ah, yes, right. But I think, do you also need food for your own character if you don't have soldiers with you? I think you don't need the food, right? Yeah, that it's leveled. I mean, if you have 3 types of different food, you get a small bonus. If you have 5 different types of food, you get an immediate bonus. And if you have 9 types of something like that, don't put me down onto the numbers. And if you have 9 different types of food, you have the maximum bonus. And if you are earning this maximum bonus day by day, you have a very quick leveling up in stewardship by that, just by having a large variety of food with your troops. Hey, Super 5. Yeah, it's a wonderful game. Yeah, oldies but goldies. And yeah, I'm playing this game since a decade, since 1.5 decades, and I always loved it. I just never streamed it because I wasn't sure whether it's worthwhile. I always had the feeling that it's maybe a bit too complex for streaming. Yep. Yeah, all these details. It's so complex. But, well, on the top level, it's also nice action. I mean, we all know each other from U-Boat. And, yeah. Also, well, maybe this one might be even a bit more action-packed than U-Boat. Yeah, by the way, Super 5, great to have you in the stream. You see me streaming at a kind of unusual time for me, so I just spontaneously decided to take the lunch break for this one. Yeah, I actually invested a bit of money into the DLC, into the war sale DLC, and yeah, that's great to try the game with that one. So shall we try to, if we can fight the looters, give it a save at that point. I bought some javelins. It sort of ended up like U-boats, yeah. I actually just once, I already had started another campaign where I had bought my first 2 ships, but I just sailed across the sea from Ortesia to Quiertz, and I never had any sea battle yet. So let's see if we can get that guy. Are we close? Ah, okay, so we were far enough away that those other warband doesn't interfere. So we have 8 looters. We are on a horse. And we have the spare. So this is a bit tricky thing in the beginning. Maybe it's stupid what I'm doing here, but we will see. Okay, I delivered 58 damage, which was not enough to kill the guy. And I got 3 points in throwing. Probably it's kind of suicide what I'm doing here. Oh shit, that was a miss. Couldn't afford that with just 4 javelins. Yeah, in the beginning your aim is not very good. That was a good hit, but still not a kill. And you see that I already received some light damage. Killed that one, and I have no javelins left. Now let's see what I can do with the spare. Okay, that was good luck that they missed me just as well. Yeah, I can't actually judge it because up to now I didn't actually come into a fight. Yeah, I'm a big fan of maritime stuff, as you could guess. Okay, got him with the spare once, but this will be a bit of some work and pretty risky. Might well be that we wouldn't make it. Oh shit, so that guy had this, yeah, I don't know the name for that. It's a fork, this kind of farmer's fork. Okay, we got him. 36 damages we delivered to him. The 41. Some of the guys are already streaming with blood. Just 2 damages given to them by riding them down with my horse. Okay, the cowards there, just blocking with their swords. Okay, got that one. Okay, just 12, but still. Yeah, Volvolu, I'm a bit with you. Like, I'm so much in love with just anything which is related to the sea. Ah, shit. So, you see, I get some damage. Yeah, about the graphics. I just gained a level. The question still is if I survive this. Yeah, I mean, even though the graphics is not high-end crack graphics, still the game needs an enormous power on your, not on your GPU I think, but on your CPU, because of all the game mechanics that are being calculated in real time in the background. Okay, that's the problem now. They're just blocking. They are just blocking. And so I can't get through their block. I can't crush through their block with spare. Oh, he's still alive. Okay. Yeah, this is what you get in the beginning of the game. But the reward is pretty great if I might survive this. Oh shit. I want to kill that one guy with the fork. He delivered 18 damages. Wonder if I could get away. So I killed that one. I have this problem with the guys. Always blocking me. Okay, so I rode him down with the horse, and when he was falling I struck him with the sword. Seems to work, but it's a gamble because they might well just hit me with their sword. And it doesn't work every time. Okay, riding him down just gives minimum damage of 1, but still the chance that while I ride him down, he drops his defense. Yeah, like here it worked. Yeah, that's the early game. That's the early game. Later you have loads of people. Archers, riders, foot soldiers. Yeah, they are walking in close formation. That makes it a little bit difficult to hit them. Ah, okay, I was lucky. They hit my shield. That could have been giving me quite a bit of damage. Another 2 damage is being delivered. And I killed another one. So I start to believe that we might get it done. If I had a bow, but yeah, I'm not yet. Okay. Yeah, you see, each time I land a blow, I get some experience. And it's not only that you get experience with sword when you kill someone with the sword, but also just landing a hit. Even if you don't kill the guy, gives you experience. So there we are. Did it. Yeah, so let's see what we got in total. We got renown, we got additional moral, and here we see we killed 8 enemies, and this is what we leveled up. We got 8 plus in throwing the javelin, 12 plus in riding, 7 plus in pole arms, and 9 plus in sword fighting. Alright, yeah, thanks. Bit of luck you need for that. That could also end up in a different way. Yeah, still I'm playing on maximum difficulty level, so they are not completely stupid actually. So I get this stuff, get grain, hatchet stuff, and yeah, by now we could already check. So a hood, no. Let's give it to our guy. Some arm rubs, very good. What about, okay, this clothing is worse than the one we have, so we have grain and beer. And the hatchet is for sure worse. Yeah, see, the hatchet has only a weapon reach of 45, and my sword has a weapon reach of 103, so my attitude is when you are riding a horse in battle, you need at least a weapon reach of 100, so that you could effectively fight enemies from horseback. Yeah, if you have a lot of archers, you also need some bunch of ordinary foot soldiers to protect the archers from cavalry attacks or something, but yeah, having a good basis of archers as backup, that's very important. Yes, this rain, this rain of arrows bucketing down on you. Yep. So here we are, and yeah, let's get back. What can we do? We can level up. Okay, so whenever this bar here is full, so every experience that you gain in each of the skills, so we have all these individual leveling bars in all the skills, and when you level up there, it all sums up to the overall experience bar. And well, when you have the particular bar in one-handed, when you reach that one, you level up, you can, yeah, you reach kind of a next point here. This 19 becomes 20 when the bar is full, and so filling the bar moves this one across this line of symbols, and each time you pass by these symbols you can choose a special perk. A shield wall, yeah. So, yeah, and in total, whenever you have the total experience bar full, you can level up one of these, and I think every 3 times you can level up one of these. So, now a difficult question again. think at that point I would level up my throwing skill, because I think for the near future the javelin will be my best comrade. So give it a save and let's try to do some trading. There was this relatively cheap silver ore. Let's by the way, let me check, is my favorite shield there? Nope. So let's stick to this shield for now. It's, yeah, 95 is already relatively high speed for the shield. There is one single light cavalry shield which gives you a speed of 100. This is my standard shield. So the variety of different shields doesn't make much of a difference in gameplay, I think. So all the variety makes much sense. Only for the shields I never quite saw the meaning of having all these different shields. Oh, is it? A Super 5. This is not quite my experience. I would say that if you send your own troops ahead and stay in the back, that then they are really fighting the troops. I mean, when you're standing just behind them, like 5 meters, then okay. But if you stay back 50 meters and send them to the enemy, I think they should mainly be firing on your troops and not on you. Also, we are on the limit of our loading capacity. So what we can do is could buy a horse. But do I really want to do that? Yeah, why not? So this horse is actually better, you see. Its speed is better and its maneuverability. Only hit points is less, but that's fine. I want to have a fast steed. So now I have one additional horse, which increases my carrying capacity. And well, I could also hire this single soldier here, so he would not slow me down too much. He does a bit. Does slow me down a bit, but he is, I don't know, is he riding now on the cargo horse, or could you only put infantry on the on riding horses and not on the cargo horse? Not sure. By the way, let's get over, as long as we are close to these relatively large parties, war bands, we are more or less safe from being attacked. We could just hide behind them if some robbers might come in. Using drones, yeah. Yeah, I don't know, this is a bit different. So what I feel is that the interaction between the all the soldiers on the battlefield is feeling pretty natural. So fingers crossed. Now if we trade, okay, silver ore. Well, no. Okay, we bought it for 195 and we can sell it for 380. So that's quite some earning. Nice. See, we get 6 skill points in trade. Of course, this is exponential. I mean, in the beginning you get more points for less, and in the end you get less points for just the same. I mean, the further you level up, the harder it becomes to gather points. But that is good. Very good. I'll check the arena here. Nothing there. Check the tavern. She would be a nice companion. Shall I? I mean, She's a good doctor. She's also good at stewardship, so later I could make her a governor of cities. She's good with the spare. Well, why not? Let's get her.
Hey, I don't think I know you.
Yeah, my name's Josh. You know, we women suffer greatly when you warriors have your sport. I lived in a village to the north of here across the gulf. It is a cruel land. There is no strong king, and lords think nothing of ravaging their neighbors' lands. My mother was skilled in the use of herbs to treat disease and wound. I had a happy and peaceful childhood until the day a month before I was to be married. That was the day my life changed. A band from a nearby village came and attacked us. We had done them no harm. We had never even thought of them as our enemies. But they wanted our cattle. They killed my mother and the youth who I was to marry, and they burned our village. Everything gone. Those who lived fled into the woods. I expect that my kin will soon return to their homes, but I will not. I cannot. I cannot be in a place where I am at the mercy of those any beast on the rampage. I will ply my trade among warriors. I will learn to harm as well as to heal. And if the time comes for me to marry, I will live in a land where there is a king, even a tyrant, rather than raising a family amid the war of all against all. So she is against anarchy, actually. Quite some political statement what she does there. I'm sorry for your fate, my lady. At any rate, if you know a warband who is looking for someone who knows how to treat wounds, I would be grateful. I can use someone like you. Yeah, come on. There are some townspeople who looked after me here, made sure I was fed, and I'd like to give them something. Could I ask you for 400 gold pieces as advance? Yeah, here you are. Dranga Willowbark joined our band. Alright, so we have our first companion. Don't know, I actually never did any mods on the game. So this game here, Bannerlord, it's so well balanced and it's so complex with all the influences. I just wouldn't dare to install any mods just to find out, after having played it for something like 3 months in real life, that the whole balancing was kind of wrecked by the mods. So this is, I mean, I'm generally not playing many mods, but this is definitely the least game where I would put any mod into, because on its own I just love it. But you are right, would be comfortable if you could do a little bit of quality of life improvement there in the shops with the filtering. Now we can flip through our band. This is us. And this is Dranga Willowbark. So she is... Okay, she's not good in horse... Yeah, he has a bit of experience in horse riding. The red number means that she can't level up anymore. So when you gain and gain experience and you don't put additional focus points, you get stuck at one point and can't further develop. So even though if she would be riding and fighting on the horse, she just wouldn't get any more experience until we would spend one focus point on riding. So as for now, I think I would leave her being a foot soldier with a throwing weapon. Now let's see what we can trade for her. What do we have? Yeah, this one. See, this is a slightly better armor than the one that she has. We can also give her head protection. Give her a horse? No. Not at that point. Okay, it's the same armor, but slightly lighter. So the weight of this one is less, being the same armor, so I change it. And okay. So I need to equip her a little bit better. That's expensive. I only have 300 bucks left. So at the moment, there's not much chance of buying something. So you have to do with what you have. But what about trade? Is there any chance? Something particularly cheap, so we can get this one here. Get Saga. No, okay. So this we have to pay 34 bucks each day for her. From Mrs. Willowbark. And if we have more soldiers in the band, this will increase. That's actually the wage, the daily wage. So it means in one day we will have a minus of 34, which will leave us still in the plus. And if we travel on another day without earning anything, when we get into minus, when we can't pay the wages of the soldiers, moral will drop. Each time we can't pay, moral will drop a bit. By the way, we could check this little village just to see how it looks. By the way, we didn't do that. You can walk the land. So was it evening or morning? This is actually, I like this graphics. It's not super super pro, but it's atmospheric. The lighting is nice, and the details, the villagers going around, I pretty much like that. So we could recruit troops here, but I don't have money to do that at the moment. We could buy products, and yeah, I also don't have the money. I just hope that if I sell this one M4 of wine that I got, that I will get some money back. Hey, Funny Colors! Nice to participate in the chat. Great to have you in. Yeah, I think, the game was made to be modding, and I pretty much love this attitude of developers to make their games open for modding. Although, yeah, I'm not that deep into modding usually. I don't mod my games that much. Well, I have one game which is completely 100% modded, and that's Stalker Gamma. I love Stalker Gamma, which is a very complex, completely modded thingy. So here we are. Let's check if the trade will be good. Yeah, okay, all right. We bought it for something like 300 bucks, and we sell it for 700. So that saves us. We get 764. And okay, so this gives us 7 trade points. Pretty successful then. Let's give it a save. And now let me... yeah, okay, I just wanted to say let me show you something, but I mean, particularly you guys in the chat, you know the game well, but maybe there are other people watching who don't know the game as well. So we can get here and choose the parties. So, well, members, it's her. We could even click onto her and get some kind of a character statistics page. So now she's of the clan of the Slocums. Her age is 23, and she's of the culture of Sturgia. There we are. What I can do now, yeah, as we know, she's pretty good in medicine. I let her be my surgeon. This we can do here. So we have the quartermaster, the scout, the surgeon, the engineer, and if I don't select any one particular, then all these jobs are being done by me. But now, let's see here, she is a pretty good surgeon, so let her do the surgeoncy, which means that we have less probability of people dying in the battle on our side, but just getting injured. And if you have a good surgeon, also healing gets on much faster. Yeah, we don't actually have a crew up to now. We only have, yeah, look at that. It's just us. Ah, yeah, okay, we have, that's us, Mrs. Dranga Willowbark, or one of the companions. So there is two types of guys. You can have companions, which are kind of special, and you just have the ordinary soldiers, which you can still level up, but this is different models. So the ordinary soldiers have some kind of leveling up tree, like this one here. Pretty complex. You can make them riders, you can make them archers, you can make them foot soldiers, and foot soldiers just with a heavy weapon, or light foot soldiers. All these things you can do. But yeah, and that's it. And like for her, you can actually do all the detailed leveling like you can do for your own hero. So in the end, you would have something like 3, 4, 5, or 6 of these companions, which you can level up in detail, and you would have hundreds of these ordinary soldiers, which you just level up according to the leveling tree. And this is also one of these strategic developers' decisions to make it like that, which makes the game so very playable and, yeah, wonderful. if they live long enough, that's the point. Yep. If they live long enough. So each of these soldiers is individually tracked in battle, and also is leveling up when they kill someone. And then also for each individual soldier, this is kind of summed up, and at one point you can level him up, or her. That's it. So now, arena, no tournament going on still. Yeah, let's go back to trade. So I think I would like to give her a spear and a shield. Let's see if we can afford it. Heater shield, wooden kite shield, cavalry kite shield. Now how much money would I like to invest? The cavalry kite shield looks quite good. I'll give her a simple shield for now, like that, and invest into some javelins. Actually, these javelins are better than the ones I have, so I'm gonna take that one for myself, this set of javelins, and give these to her, like that. Okay, so yeah, the javelins are pretty hard weapons. I mean, if you throw a javelin against an enemy and hit him, and not hitting the shield but the guy, it does a devastating damage. So here we are, and let's some more trading maybe. This could go to Jakulan. Yeah, now that we have visited Jakulan for a certain time, now we have the information here what the cost would be at Jakulan. But this is like fog of war. Never rely on that, because this is just the last price we had when we were there. And this fades out after a few days. And when it starts fading out, you can be pretty sure that the price has shifted since then. Because each time when another lord enters, or a caravan enters a city and starts trading, this actually actively changes and adjusts the prices. So even if you only look at the price system of the items economy in the game, that's amazing how it is done. Even this, I mean, it's kind of a medieval combat simulation, but even the trade is done so wonderful. Yeah, if you have 10 to 20 guys, then in a fight it might well be that you lose something like 5 of them, but then you will still have some of the other guys leveling up. And if you get new recruits and do this for a while, finally you, after quite a while, you do have a good experienced bunch of people. So we could earn a bit of money, so this would be a something like 50% gain if we buy it for 10 and sell it for 15. Let's see what else. This looks good. Pottery to Jakulan. Shall we? Yeah, I don't dare to buy more. We are pretty limited in our funds. If I would buy one more, we would be very much down to close to zero. So let's bring this to Jakulan again. Our speed 4.4, so movement speed on the map is alright. We should still be faster than these roving bandit bands. Let me briefly check something in the stream. Yeah, all right. Amazing, guys. Pretty glad to have so many people being interested in this wonderful game. So back again. There we are. Now we can join the tournament. But let's first do the business of trade before we forget it. Okay, so we do not earn quite what was promised, but at least a bit. So yeah, we still get 2 points of trade. So this is this skill here. We are leveling up in trade. Whenever we earn a high amount of money with some trade transaction, we gain experience points here. And yeah, let's go for the arena. Join the tournament. So the tournament takes place in 5 rounds. Let's see if our companion is also part of the... no. I never quite grasp how it works, but from a certain combat experience level of your companions, they also take part in the tournaments. Obviously, Mrs. Willowbark hasn't got yet enough fighting experience, so she doesn't. Yeah, let's skip this round, and here, there we are. So we are fighting together with a Valandian sharpshooter. We are the blue team, and 2 Valandian seasoned seafarers are against us. Sword fighting, just ordinary sword fighting. Okay. So this pretty much depends on the performance of that other guy of us. Okay, we killed 2 of them and gained a bit of experience in one-handed and running, or athletics actually. So we are in the next round. Oh, Zivland, she's a real badass, if I may say so. She's pretty good in fighting, so it might become tough. Let's see in which discipline we are gonna be there. Wow. Okay, very good. Yeah, we gain experience in crossbow shooting. There we are. Next round. Okay, on horseback with pole arms. Oh shit, yeah, in the beginning you're very slow when you have... So this is something I have to get used to in the beginning. How slow movements actually are when you have been playing with higher experience guy before in a different life. Okay, my guy killed the other one. Here you press the button, keep it pressed, and when you release it, you hit. And you have to release it in the right moment, so timing is everything. And if I hit his shield often enough, the shield will be destroyed. I could also switch to sword, but I won't do it at the moment. Okay, there I was too slow. Okay, good. So he killed both of them, and now I am fighting against the winner on my companion here in the last round. Oh shit, this is the worst and hardest thing to do. Oh yeah, it's very much a thing of luck to do that. So we got a spiked battle axe. Nice. So I think I'm gonna give that spiked... Yeah, let's save it. Better safe than sorry. I think I'm gonna give that spiked battle axe to Duranga. It's one-handed. It's short range. So she could choose in the battle, and she would actually. They are so smart. The simulation of the artificial intelligence is so great in the game. She would actually choose, depending on the situation, between the javelins, the blade, and the axe. Okay. Thank you very much, Wolvaloo. Thank you very much. Well, yeah, I have some training. I'm playing the game since a long time. I don't want to boast, but just to see that I'm not a natural born genius in this, let me just tell you how much hours I do have in the game. Yeah, okay. I played 2000 hours of Bannerlord, and the predecessor Warband I had 1500 hours. So in the whole game cycle I did dump something like 3500 hours. So like when I'm alright, when I'm doing okay in the fight, it's not because I'm a natural born genius, but it's just a bit of training actually. Well, actually, I have to admit that not all the hours are mine, but yeah, okay. There might be also a few hundred hours being created by my children. They did play the game also for a while, liked it pretty much, although now they're more moving to something like Valorant and Fortnite. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that you also already know your ropes well in the game. So we won the tournament, earned some money. We could see, do I want to... Yeah, let's set up a little troop. This will slow us down. Yeah, at the moment we can command 20 guys. This is actually this skill here, Steward. When stewardship levels up, we can increase the number of troops. So you start with something like maximum of 20 troops, and you can end up at something like having 400 or 500 troops. And this is amazing battles then. We can get another focus point. Now, hard choice again. So I think Stuart. Tricky choice, but maybe I would like to level up in smithing, because smithing is, yeah, I sometimes even feel like cheating, because with smithing you can earn so much money in the game. But, well, it's part of the concept. So what do you think? Should I level up crossbow, smithing, or roguery? I'm gonna do a lot of smithing, but of course you constantly earn experience in roguery by selling prisoners. So here we are fine. So I sometimes feel that maybe I would like to level up roguery at the beginning just a bit. Yeah, let's do that. And Ranga, yeah, she still needs a bit of points for the next leveling up. Don't get killed, yep. Okay, Vulvulu, you are relatively new in the game. Okay, yep. Okay, sorry, Super 5. Now I was too quick. I only now read your comment in the chat. There is always this little lag. And so, not, yeah. Yep. Okay, now something to trade. Let's see. Ah, yes, I wanted to hire a few guys. So now I do have an army of me, Dranga, and 5 recruits. So you see that having these foot soldiers considerably brings down our traveling speed on the map. But 5 is not very much. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do it like that. And go for it. So we are down to 4.0 speed on the map. We could now buy additional horses to get faster, but yeah, I don't have the money for that. what I can do is, let's see if we can do some trade. Bring planks to Sargot. That looks like a good business. Let's see what else. Or wood? No, not quite. Yeah, maybe the tools. No, the planks. Let's buy one plank and hope that we do get this good price. So by now we have to pay $50 per day. Now that we have assembled these kind of, what was it, 7, 8 or 9 troops. What is it? 9 Vlandian recruits. Let's first see that we earn some money to be on the safe side. Now daily change of 50 minus 50, reducing our purse. Now what about trading? Fingers crossed that we are gonna make some money. Yeah, a bit. We sell it for a bit more than we bought it. That's all right. And we get a trading point for that. So we are back to 700. Let's recruit one more guy so that we have 10 guys in the team. And see if there is anything we can. So leather for 300, sell it for 700. So now shall I become bold? Also buy some beer. This would also give us a bit of revenue. Okay. Fingers crossed. Yeah, like this is the fog of war. You never know if you would actually get that money there. If meanwhile, while we were on the way, some other trader might have dumped a lot of beer into the market there, and the price might drop. And yeah. Shall we? Shall we fight these guys? So maybe we should not be following them, but better get to the town. But yeah, come on. The longer it takes us to travel there, the higher the probability is that other businesses being done there spoil the price. The leather. Yeah, okay. I think still make some good money with the leather. And yeah, what about the beer? Let's keep one. Yeah, let's just sell the leather and keep the beer. And now I would love to have one more horse, if I could get a cheap horse, but I think it needs to be a so you see this is a transport horse. You see by the back underneath the horse symbol, and well, this one here is actually a fast riding horse. You see it by this fast moving head of the horse, but I can't afford that for now. Let's see if there is any other good business that we can do just by trading. But the margin is not as good anymore. When you have done the trading for a few times, the margin is dropping. So maybe we'll just go for Garland and see if we get some better trade business there. Okay, at night time we move much slower. Now our speed is 3. That's always the case. Also the weather, like rain, reduces your speed, and particularly when you have a lot of horses, then the drop in speed in rainy weather is much more significant. Here we are. Now we have trading information from here as well, at least for the next days. Here is the port. Take a walk. That's how the port looks like. Isn't that nice? I love it. Yeah, you could still say that the graphics are not completely up to date, but the atmosphere is great. And here you can walk through the port, and I bet, I never tried it since the update, but I bet that you could get to town. Or, okay, I thought there might be some way of probably there, yeah. There where we just spawned. And there we go to the town center. Here we are, nice. All the people, the village, the town people, and the stuff standing around. I find that so atmospheric. And she, Dranga, is accompanying us. Yeah, okay. Arena. Okay, no tournament. Yeah, recruit troops. Well, at the moment I can't afford more troops. But trade. Yeah, we have used up our grain. Olives are pretty cheap around here. Let's get some olives. Else. Okay, we could get pottery to Jaculan and earn a bit, and we could get planks to Sargot and earn a bit. What about the butter? Yeah, the butter. Give butter to Sargot. So if we bring the pottery to Jaculan, and maybe also a set of planks to Jaculan. Oh shit, nah, I shouldn't have done that now. Yeah, well, now you will see what happens when you get to minus in terms of payment. I'm pretty sure that we have to pay our crew before we reach that town. So the next morning is approaching. Ah, nice, we are there. Before we have to pay. Okay, alright. Oh, the planks are more or less plus minus 0, but we can sell it at Sargot for a much better price. At least this saves us. Now back to 700 bucks. Arena, no. Any more something we could buy here and bring it to Sargot? Nah, that's, I don't even have so much money for the fur. But that looks good. Let's get 1 flask of wine. Of oil it was. And 1 wine. Yeah, and I think we should be fine with that. Let's get going with our trading caravan. So we are trying to earn a bit of money so that we have some backup. These guys are moving off 3.9, so we are just slightly faster. I would like to try to attack these guys, but yeah, we are not fast enough to catch up with them. For that I would need a few horses to put my foot soldiers on while we are on the march. Yeah, I agree. Super 5, you could do it better, but yeah, I mean the game. If you imagine, like if you don't have an absolutely high-end cooling system for your CPU, you recognize that your CPU is always running on full and your fan is always running full, because this game drains so much CPU power just for all the calculation. You have, I don't know, 100 lords moving across the map, doing things all over, and everything is being calculated in real time. So while you progress in the game, also all the other non-NPCs in the game progress and do their things in a very realistic way. And all this is calculated in the background, and that's why this game needs an enormous CPU power. And yeah, having all this, it's easy for me to forgive certain graphical imperfections, to put it like that. Yeah, I don't know. I think you need a relatively good CPU to run this game, right? No. Oil, yes. The planks, yeah, that's not quite that good money, so and the wine not as well. But okay, here we are. Not too bad what we earned with that. Now we are in the 1,700 range, and maybe we could afford a horse to get a bit faster and to go after these bandit bands. Around, say, okay, that's relatively cheap. Now look at that. Party speed of +4. And if I buy an additional round C, I get a plus 0.05 for footmen on horses. Okay, doesn't make too much of a difference. Let's see if I buy another round C. Okay, I will be a bit faster like that. and trade. Okay, pottery to Jaculan again. That's it. Okay, now let's see if we can get that guy. We are moving with 4.1 and they are probably, hopefully 3.9. And the good thing is that they are by chance running in exactly the direction that I want to travel anyway. Hey guys, there we are. Oh shit. So we have these other guys around. I wanted to finish them off on my own, and now I have these guys being with me.
Everyone follow me! Attack!
So, with this large army on our side, I will probably have no chance of... I killed one and I injured one. Okay, but we didn't get any part of the loot because we just killed one guy and I was getting some experience from that. We plundered 6 gold. Okay. Now let's get to make our deal in Jaculan. Okay, so I think the earnings are not as much as I hoped it to be. But still, I think we didn't make any loss. Arena and trade again. Tools to Garland. Let's try that. We paid 300 something. And on the way we are keeping our eyes open for marauding robbers. But yeah, there were no. Let's see. Tools, okay, that gives us some earnings and we are above 1000 again. Yeah, and we gained the next level here. So we could, as a party leader, which we are, we get less price penalty when selling equipment, and personal, our profits are marked. Okay, that's for both. So I think I would prefer the lower one. So you always have the choice between two, and here I would actually pick this one here. 15% better prices when selling goods. Yep, because later in the game I wouldn't sell goods, but I would trade in goods to level up my my troops. Yeah, okay. The overview. Yep. Of course, and particularly when you start to have cities. I remember I had games where I had something like 3 cities and another 3 or 4 castles, which I owned, And yeah, then you also have to do the management of them just as well. And then things become interesting, yeah. Shall we wait briefly until sunrise? Because then we can see if there is something going on in the arena. No. So, do we want to do more trade? Something worthwhile to buy? Wow, linen, that's expensive. Oh, that's amazing. The whale oil, it's so cheap and I can sell it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And same for the wine, hey. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go like that. Or anything else. If this is true, I'm gonna earn a fortune with that. Let's go. Let's leave and head for Dracula. Give it a save. You never know. Arena, Tavern District, just check it, and now trade. Okay, it's not that much earning as it was said to be, but it's fine, and we can go for Zargot with this one. But let's take the margin that we have here, that's fine. Yeah, I need to get some food for the crew. I gained a level, nice. I got 5 points of trade for that. That was a good trade, actually. Okay, so now that was the third time that we level up, and now we get 1 attribute point. So I think I'm gonna level up this one here. And now you suggested before that I should level up the crossbow. For tournaments, that's alright, but I think I'm never gonna use the crossbow in battles. I'm only gonna use it in tournaments when it randomly is given to me. So at the moment I think I would prefer to increase the smithing. Yep. That's it. Let's give it a save and now check for trading. Whale oil further to Zargot, okay. Let's see if this is going to work out. Yeah, it's like in real life, right? When you have much money, it's easy to make more money. Ah, no, I don't want to get involved with these. They are sea raiders. They are just too tough. And they were 16. Bunch of 16 guys. So here we are. The arena, trade. Okay, nice. And here, wow, very expensive stuff here. Still. Get some grain. Hey, come on, and let's... I could buy more horses. Let's see if we get some cheap riding horses around here. Nope, not really. Only carrying horses. So let's go hunting. Or we could get there. So there is a village and they breed horses. So maybe we can get some cheap horses there. Saddle horse, okay, the Rouncy, yeah, that's relatively cheap. Let's get 2 Rouncies, or 3, I think we can afford that. Yeah, we are slow anyway because we are in the forest right now. Ah, come on, I want to have one more. And then we go to Sharas. Or Karas. As I never streamed that game, I just have the names in my head and never am pretty sure about the pronunciation. So it might be that I mispronounce some of these locations completely. Hey, Super 5, yes. Yes. Yeah, there are a few games which are really timeless. Like this one here, or the other one game where I have that in Skyrim. I actually don't have the time to dump too much time into Skyrim again, but yeah, whenever I just open it and play a few, well, sessions, I love the game. And I could start it from scratch for the 10th or 15th time and still love it. Ah, okay, there is a tournament. The only situations where this game was sometimes unstable, in very rare occasions, so something like once in 2 months or something, I got a game crash when I entered the tournament, or a game crash when I entered the smithy. That was before this update here. Maybe they have done something about that. But that's why I do these saves now and then. Let's join the tournament. So still my companion is not part of the tournament, and yeah, okay, this is, you see, it's very different how the tournament is structured. So here we are groups of 4 fighting against each other. I am the, yeah. So I pretty much like to support my sword fighters in the beginning. Okay, right, there we are. Experience. Oh shit, that was a miss. I have to kill one of them before my sword fighters go over there. That was a bit risky to hit my own guys. So next round. whether I win the tournament or not. I'm earning a lot of experience. Nice. So we won, finally. And now... Oh shit, I'm too slow at the beginning. I love the tournaments, actually. You really feel the difference when you're playing the game and you're greatly leveled up. Yeah, I got him. He's still alive, but that gave him quite some damage. Oh shit, that gave me quite some damage. Because the guy is also not bad. Did I break his shield? My horse is so slow. Shit, too slow again. I just delivered some damage to his horse. Okay, I got him. And here we are, fighting against the Landian infantry with the sword. There we are. We won. We got a nice helmet as a reward for winning the tournament. That's pretty valuable in the beginning of the game to get these nice pieces of equipment from the tournaments. Like, see, this is head armor 32 in contrast to head armor 3 that I'm having right now. So I can give this one away to my civilian outfit. Alright, good. And obviously I also gained some experience in riding. I prefer improving my maneuvering and in athletics, combat movement speed, hit points. Yeah, let's do that. Increase combat movement speed. Okay, guys, so I look at the time and I definitely have to get back to work. So thanks for joining. It was a pleasure to share the game with you. And although I was always a bit skeptical about streaming this game, Bannerlord, I quite liked it. And yeah, we had a nice discussion in the chat. So thanks for joining. Super 5, Vulvulu, and Funny Colors, you were in briefly. That was also great to have your comment. And yeah, nice. Let's see. Maybe I'm gonna continue in the evening. I'm probably gonna do a late night stream tonight. And yeah, as it is not yet Thursday, this is probably not gonna be U-boat, but yeah, either Daisy or this one here. Not yet indecisive. I am still indecisive. Maybe I'm going to continue this game here in the late night stream tonight. Okay, that would be great. Wolvaloo Super 5, have a good one. And thanks for joining. Bye bye.